Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome aboard Flying with Mike. We are in Turkey. We left off there. We dropped the 767 off here. Now we're going to take off in the ToLis A319. Sorry about that, folks. Still trying to recover from Monday's 24 plus hour day of awake. That's fine. That's on me. Nothing to fret anyone about. But yeah, we are sitting here in Turkey getting ready to head up to the slopes of Innsbruck. Innsbruck, Austria. For those not familiar with it, also was the home to the Olympics not too long ago. I mean, I'm thinking back in the 90s, 80s, somewhere in that ballpark. Winter, of course. And we are going to take Turkish Airlines 572 up there. So see what kind of weather we have. I really want to shoot runway 26. I don't want to get too complex of an approach because they do get that way. Matt, 1997 Air, good morning, sir. Hope you have a blessed day as well. We're going to blast off now. One caveat here, and I did not know this when I began setting this flight up a couple weeks ago. I didn't know Turkey, they didn't fly out of this airport anymore commercially. Did not know that. Learn something. See, Flight Sim can teach you, folks. LTFM is the new commercial airport here. This one is just an airport now, mostly general aviation. I wouldn't bet cargo comes in here, but I don't know. Obviously, I didn't know that beforehand, so consider it my last flight out of LTBA. So, you know, and my first flight, the second flight, because I flew in, now we're flying out. Won't be doing this again, folks. So if we come back to Turkey, we'll go to the right airport. So for those of you out there that wanted to have fun with flying with Mike, good, come aboard. We're about to have some. Going up to LOWI, LOWI, Innsbruck Airport, Austria. Let's get in the cockpit here. We have the aircraft on, external power doors open, boarding is completing, and they're just working their way down. So we are at a point in the checklist, folks. We have fired up the airplane battery wise, ground power wise. Check the CVR, cockpit voice recorder. Excuse me there, folks. Let me just check my sound settings. Yeah, I think that'll do good. All right, and we've got our fuel pumps off, and we've begun fueling the plane. Nav 2 is what we're going to use for the lights out there, and all that is, folks, is just the second set of lights out there, alternating between them. Alternates the use of the bulbs, and strobes are on auto. Checked all the lights. Emergency lights are armed. Smoking sign on and will remain on duration of the flight. And let's just double check the fuel load, showing correct load. We'll get to that in a minute. And all right, so we're going to go ahead, kick over to the APU. And I noticed on this aircraft, it takes a while for that flap to open, and I'm wondering if that's more realistic. I really like that in this one. Don't know a lot about the Airbus products other than what I see on the line at Mid-America Airport where I work. beyond that, you know, they're a bit of a mystery to me. Although I find them fun as all get out to fly. All right, so we got the APU switched on. Go ahead and clear up these error messages. And let's see if we get away with Xpilot coming on. Oh, good. No saying, hey, there's an update out there, like just about every time seems to be. And let me go and see if we have just about there. And I think the power up is just about. Problem is, when you're at an airport, there's so many other noises going. I couldn't tell you if they shut the APU down or not. I'm sure they do, maybe, but I couldn't tell you. There's just so much noise on our ramp. So, and it's not because of there's a lot of airlines. Trust me. It just there is noise. All right, and I showed that the doors have closed. So hang on just a second. We're gonna remedy that. One of the neat features with ToLis, we can come in here, click the attendant, and that takes care of the passenger side of the house. So to open, there's the door opening, and when we're ready, we can arm and check the doors, cross-check the doors. Cargo side, just a couple of clicks, same thing. All right, and close that off. All right, so now we show that they are open. And I will manually close them, obviously. All right, so APU is up and running. Let's make sure we're showing a veil up there. Cool. All right, so the cockpit lights and McDo's are set. Flap levers up, and let's make sure they agree. And they agree. Spoilers down, and probe heat is auto. APU bleed can come on now. Air conditioning panel looks good. We'll go to normal for now. I'm starting to wonder at 130, we're almost maxed out. I ought to go high. We'll go high. This is gonna hurt, I don't think. Cross bleeds auto, and finally temperatures are as required. Gen 1, Gen 2 fault lights are on, ventilation panels are set, and the lights are off. Alright, so folks, we are in the final home stretch here, as they say. And the on-bat is on. Good deal. All right, so check, make sure our navs and strobe lights again are set. Seat belts, turn those on now. And no smoking, of course. Emergencies, arm landing, elevation, auto, and fuel pumps can come on. Finally, engine fire checks. Alright, all good. Radio 3 looks good. Radios 2 and 1 are set properly. Last thing is we start in on the McDo's. I want to change angles here. Alright. A couple of neat things with this plane. First, the RNAC cycle is 2301. Alright, so now we go to the init page. Now, why I'm able to start like this and plan my takeoff at the time I do, which is in about 20 minutes, is I can get through this rather quickly. Click init request. You can, by the way, do this in the Flight Factor A320. This feature is there. Most of the rest of this is not. Just to warn you. Make sure IRS. I'd like to align the IRS. Oh wait, wrong IRS. Alright, so flight level 380. Now they show us there. I got a flight plan notice. We are at 35, so I'll change that. And just check your data. I don't know why that changes. I don't know if the tropo is correct either. So one day I'm going to do this in a plan that I can check all of this out. Alright, so from there we press on to the F plan. And basically when we did that init request, it brings the flight plan over just like it would in the real world. Flight plan only, runway SID, runway star, not added. That's because it could change. And the computer may say, well, the winds favor this runway, and that runway may be 2 feet long. Just kidding. No, in Alaska, they have some aircraft that can get airborne at 2 feet with the way the winds are. We're not in Alaska, so. All right, so we are planning runway 5 and the Vaden 3 departure. So departure, runway 5, 8,463 feet long, plenty. And like I said, the Vaden. Won't let me go that way, so I gotta go the long way. Vaden 3. And there are actually transitions on this, folks, and I don't get why they're not there, so. But it's going to put us on the right one. Now, what I'm going to do is switch to plan, pull this out, and just go through the plan. Just looking at it here. Okay, everything's looking good so far. Gitfo, Govug. Okay, Akuba, Vaden. Perfect. That is the departure, folks. Now we get on to the route. Sticks. And then these are actually part of the airway that we'll be on. And basically, I'm just looking to make sure nothing goes askew, like 5,000 miles one way, because it took this fix over this fix, which especially in the direct, because we do have a direct section in. After UTEKA, we're direct to 1, 2, 3, 4 more fixes, and that's when we can run into trouble. Okay, there they are. So they're looking good. Up descent, netted. All right. Now, what I'm planning here, 15,000. All right, so for our arrival, click arrival. I am going to plan the localizer for 2.6 on the Nanny 2 Alpha. RTT transitions, and you can see how it's built it out. We're going to go from Nanny, which is probably about Nanit, actually is what it is, RTT, and then join the localizer. Again, continuing the upward swing here. Come down just 1 inch, okay. And go. All right, so let me get that. Adwig FF26, okay. again, it all looks good right into the run. Good deal. Then afterwards, we'll get our missed approach. All right, back to F plan, back to arc, back to, now we'll keep it at 20. Oh, I know why it's doing that. Never mind. Okay, get my chart centered back up. All right, and folks, that is the route. So, time to align 2 minutes. For that 2-minute time frame, while the ladies in the attendants in the back tend with getting the count and all ready to go. Let's take a look at Sim Toolkit and get you all up to snuff with the flight. Alright, there's Sim Toolkit, and it is a tattletale. See, it says I haven't filed my flight yet. Oh my. But no, I haven't. I know that. I will here in a second. But you can kind of see the route. What we're here for is the load sheet. 131 peeps aboard, 28,820 pounds of payload, 118,813 for the ZFW. We got 19,200 pounds of fuel. And there's where my cost index of 35 is, and flight level 380 for the flight. Alright, again, we're going to use the American Airlines format just because it's really easy to wrap our heads around. Some of them, when they get into the Sim Toolkit, lack of any backing to it, can really be tough to read. This one's not bad. So we start with the basics. Here's your flight. Here's your minimum fuel, released fuel, burn, and arrival planned fuel. Hour and 26 minutes worth. Alternate, the route to Munich is right here. And the boat TG1 Motki Airway P66 NES Airway T103 to Pitos, and Betos 1 Bravo into Munich. Finally, here's what the ATC will see out of us. Our individual route. And then we get into some information here. A lot of this, I don't know what what's supposed to be here and not. Obviously, aircraft registry, any MELs, for your cell items and all of that. But it's the section. Hang on, where is it? Oh, here it is. It went, and this is where it gets tricky, folks. See, it went right how it didn't delineate like it will on SimBrief. So, payload 28,820. Cost index, scheduled out time, and so forth. Our winds 323. Our component is a headwind, I believe, of 43. So I don't know in terms of like Boeing, where you can put in your winds, what that would be. So, and then a breakdown of our fuel. All right, and go ahead and file it. And folks, let me take a quick break here while my wife takes a call. All right, folks, do apologize for that little break there. Wife had a phone call, and I don't like the world she's in is university finances, so I don't like student information potentially coming across the air. And it's a respect out of her for her job, since she's lucky enough to work from home and I can't. So, enough on that. All right, so we're now, what we did in the ensuing, check the rad nav, radio navigation, everything looks good. Went to the init page again and clicked this arrow to check that our weights and balance look good. Now we're to the performance page. Here we go again with how easy. Now, Flight Factor does not have this. I don't know when or if it's coming, but they have it in ToLis, and this makes it so nice. I go to takeoff. Now, if I plan to flex, I can put a number in there. It's going to send it, and then I receive it. Okay, so, and if I want to flex, I put here, and then we insert. So right now, let's insert the uplink. And there you go, folks. There's your page. Now, Blackbox 711 is a streamer on Twitch also. He has a site out there. If you go to his page, you go to this website. If he has set up the tables for it, you can actually then update these to the real world numbers. He's a real world bus driver, Airbus driver that is, and for Europe. So you can, he doesn't have LTBA because he's smarter than me and knew this airport was no longer commercial and that LTFM was the right one to use. Yeah, okay. But, you know, to his credit, he does fly over there, so he would kind of know that. All right, so here we go, folks. V1's 135, rotate 135, V2 139. We are not flexing, so it's a toga takeoff. There's our flap retractions, and we're going flaps 1, so it'll be flaps up at 150. Well, I'm going to wait till probably S speed. And you see that on your speed tape, by the way. And the transition is correct at 12,000. Okay, so the FMC is set up. We are ready to go, folks. So if you need a break, take it now, because in the next 5 minutes, we're going to be pushing back. All right, so all I'm going to do right now is set this side up to, well, we'll go with perf over here and F-plan data there. And let me see. How things look here in Turkey. My big concern is I may not stay online into LOWI because I really just want to shoot what I've got planned. I don't want to come around and try that RNAV onto runway 8. I screw it up every time. So I don't get that it's a very steep, slow descent. So, all right, so we are now THY. Whoops. THY 572, A319 connecting. So in the next couple of minutes, folks, we will show up here in Turkey. All right, and okay, during this 5-minute interlude, do this, click there, and fly bid. Okay, and start. Get rid of that. All right, so I got us up on the Millennium Aviation ACARS board. Yep. Along with 4 others out there, folks. So it is an active group. If you are looking for a VA, they're a good VA, folks. I've been with them for quite some time and enjoy flying with them. Every now and then get to fly with them in group flights. So I can't recommend the airline more than that. I mean, they have a great ACAR system. They are in a bit of a facelift-ish, if you will, to it, to kind of spice it up a little. But technology-wise, I mean, folks, they have flights all over the world. They're not restricted like, you know, if you flew for a Delta VA, you're restricted to Delta routes or American routes or Pan Am routes. They've opened it up to a plethora of routes, and I really encourage you to check them out, folks. They're a good VA. And a great bunch of people to talk with, and when you do get into some of the group flights, it's actually really fun. So, folks, started by a streamer, Captain Mac. You've probably seen videos of him on YouTube. He then translated it into starting an airline, or maybe it was vice versa. I wasn't there at that point, but a great airline, and we're having a blast flying with them, and that's who we're flying for today in the open division. Oh, I'm sorry, charter division. Because they knew that I did what I didn't know, that this airport we're at is no longer a commercial airport for airliners. That's LTFM. I'm going to say that a couple of times so you all know, don't come here if you're flying airliners. Now, if you're flying a Citation 10, cargo plane probably is good here because they do have a healthy runway here, and other general aviation assets, great. But if you're going to fly for an airline into here, head over to LTFM, the actual new international airport for Istanbul. All right, enough of what sounded like a PSA, and let's get on with flying the airplane. All right, as I said, we're going to close up the doors now. Last thing on our checklist before I call the tug. Let me get an initial altitude here, if there is even one. There is initial to 3,000. Okay, let me see, is approach up? No. All right, well, then we're going straight to 38. Bad thing is, folks, you have to scroll it all the way up. There is no little circle you can click on to wheel it all the way up faster. And 38. Okay, then we got dots on everything, speed set. Let's go to LS here, constraints. Ooh, can't see it over here. FD even on? Yes, it is. Okay. Constraints. 40. Okay. Arc 40. All right, we're set. Wow, that sun over there is bright. And I have set the time, folks. This is not real world time. I don't like, especially into LOWI, flying at night. I'd like to see what I'm flying in, even though the weather isn't all that great there. But we'll see how it turns out. So we're ready to push back. Anti-skid, nose gear set. Switching panels are normal. That's this row of switches. And the radios are on. Wait, I'm on the wrong. Transponder set. Oh, let me just do it this way. It's a lot easier. Keep it go above. Stay there on. Radar is just about ready to be turned on. All right, so let's pull the Let me do one more thing down here. Okay, get rid of that. We'll come back to it one more time to get rid of the chocks. And I just got word from the attendants. We're good to go there. They're closing the main door. It is closed. All right, so jetway's going away. Let's get the tug up here.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Okay, we'll go to here. To here. And to here.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
And once I see the tug, get the chocks and the beacon on. Just wanted to make sure the jetway was away. Okay, APU is on.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect. So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, brakes are released. Here we go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, with us now out of the gate area, I will get ready to start up number 1. What I'm waiting for is to start the turn. Okay. All right, folks, you can see it spooling up.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, number 2 is now available. It's running the power electrics on the plane. I'm going to go ahead and kick over number 1. Now, if we'd have come and always...
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Okay, one thing I've learned, folks, you see the gray box, that'll tell you anytime it's spooling up. When you get a veil up here, you're good to start the other engine, or you're done. You can start your timer for warm-up. However, if you come in and we'll just say we haven't started one and it looks like this, but there's no gray box, it's a good chance it's already started, and you're good to go to start up the other engine. Okay, we just flipped over Gen 1 now, and you can see it's available now. And we'll just let it wind up here a little bit more to stabilize, and now we'll start that timer. 3 minutes. Alright, finishing it up. Alright, so on the upper head panel, we'll turn the APU bleed off. Ground spoilers come down here, we'll arm them. Set flaps to 1, to 2. Pitch trim. What I'll do is just click there so we get all the control surfaces. We're going up 1. Okay, and then I'm also going to go ahead while we're here. Make sure things center with the stick. Elevator up, or down, up, I'm sorry, up, down, rudder. Always making sure it centers, and then I just do a kind of around the horn. You can see it moving on the PFD there as well. Okay. Continuing on, wing anti-ice. Engine and wings will run engine, but no wing. And the APU coming off. Okay, doors have been cross-checked and armed. And for the taxi, nose wheel light, parking, elapsed time, run. Here for the taxi. Okay. And we don't need to worry. Oh, engine mode. Let's go ahead and put it on normal for now. Okay. Brake temperatures are good, but we'll still run with the brake fan on. And takeoff config will come up here shortly. Alright, so let's get going. And again, welcome into Flying with Mike, folks. If you like what you're seeing, smash that follow button, folks. For those of you watching the replay on YouTube, smash subscribe. We'd love to see you, love for you to click that bell so you're notified when we come online, and join in as we take off. Next in the rotation is gonna be, I'm gonna flip a coin at work tomorrow and figure out which one we're gonna fly. Either today's planned flight to Espanol or to San Diego. So may even make it a small poll tonight. Who knows? Let you all decide. But for now, we're just going to head over to the de-ice pit, de-ice, and hopefully we don't run into icing conditions again. Took us out of the sky last time in this plane, and I don't know why. So we're going to try something different this time. And granted, it's only good for 30 minutes, but who knows? Maybe that was the trick. Get a look here at the European side. All right, we're coming into the de-ice area. Now, normally we would shut the aircraft down again. But today we're just going to roll into one of the pit areas, get our de-ice, and go. And sorry, it's not like Zibo where the truck will show squirting on it. And unfortunately in Zibo, the truck isn't animated enough to drive around it, but hey, it's still a nice effect. Right, brakes are set. And all we do to de-ice here, folks, and just so you know, I don't even hesitate, but so you see it. Oh, it says it should be raining here. 3 degrees. We're going to go ahead though and de-ice. So again, you go to the mechanic here, an attendant. Go to the mechanic. It pulls up this drop box. Use the -1. Puts it right on there and effective for 30 minutes. All right. Okay, we'll get the auto brake now set. And to notify the attendants on this plane, you just click here and then run the test. And all it's looking for is anything still blue. And it passed its exam. See, those of you out there in school, even ToLis takes a test. I know that doesn't make it any better. I get it. All right, let's go ahead and go to TARA. Terrain radar coming on. Then we'll turn the radar on as we get ready for the runway. Altimeter needs to be set to 1013. Oh, it already is. All right. And we'll start the cron at takeoff time. We're going to do a full-length departure, folks. Okay, we'll come down to the radar. All right, we are ready to go. Again, terrain is on this one. Radar here, real quick, folks, so we can roll on the runway. V1, 135, 130, 5 for rotate, 139 V2. And I'm just going to hold up here so I can also announce over the radio. Okay, brake set. Get rid of this. All right. And to make sure nobody snuck up on me. All right, that's set. Lima Tango Bravo Alpha traffic, Turkish 572 departing runway 5, Vaden 3 departure. All right, here we go. Kick up the strobes, wing lights. No rain, which is kind of funny. Lights are coming up.
V1, rotate, V2. Gear up.
Okay, we'll go ahead and let auto take it from here. And you can see, like I said, there's the S. As soon as we get above that, we'll bring it up. That takes care of slats and flaps. Outer marker. We're about to cross final LFU. Alright, let's do after takeoff now. Slats up. Brake fans off. Okay, so very simple. All we do is make sure the flaps are up and the ground spoilers are no longer armed. That white band around the bottom tells you if you're armed or not. Alright. that's it, folks. We're out of here. We're climbing through 5,600 for 38,000. And we didn't start the chrono, but that's okay. We've already got it running on the other. Nose wheel lights come off here shortly. And the flaps are up. Engine mode's normal. Anti-ice. Below 10 degrees. Turn those off for now. There we go, folks. Checklist complete. And we'll go to standard at 12,000 and lights off at 10,000. So. Well, I hope you enjoyed the departure out of Istanbul, Turkey, even though it was the wrong airport. Always a fun one. Now we're going to get ready to transition into just normal, no barometric pressure at all. Be 10, 12 set across the board all the way up to LOWI. And the LOWI being LOWI. And Innsbruck. And the flight attendants are safe to do what they do back there. Somewhere out in here, folks, is where the new airport is. I don't know if we're going to get close enough to see it. But yeah, like I said, I didn't do enough research. I just went from old knowledge, and it failed me. So, okay, we crossed 12,000. Standard. Go ahead and come off LS. Airports up this way. Actually, no, we'll stay on constraints. Bump out 280. Keep the terrain here. Turn constraints and that off. This one we'll put on airports. So that way, if we have a problem, we can see what airports are nearby. All right, as you all know, Istanbul is probably. It's not going to be the first, but it's pretty close to one of the first cosmopolitan, as we call them today, cities of many ethnics, folks. It's European, and the Muslims separated by the channel there in Istanbul between the Black Sea and the Med. So interesting how it is. Now we've got a whole plethora seems to be a word on my mouth today. A whole bunch of cosmopolitan-ish type cities out there. But I want to say this one's going to be pretty close to being, one of the first actually there way back. Goes way back, folks. 3,000-4,000 years. Constantinople was one of the words it took. So, yeah, we're flying out of it up to ski country in Innsbruck, Austria. So for now, just kind of sit back, relax. We just crossed 18,000, and we're on our way to 38,000. climbing here. I am going to go ahead and start balancing our tank of fuel. Shouldn't be that badly off, and it isn't. So we'll head up top here. Turn on the crossfeed. Till, and there'll be a beep. Should be. There it is. We're going to get it down to 2830 pretty quick, and it'll come up a little bit over here too. Hey, let's turn them off. Bear with me a second here, folks. Close enough. Not gonna nickel and dime it. All right. So, folks, as you can see, we're within 10 pounds of each. So we'll keep it there. Let's go ahead though and do it. Okay. So we're gonna look to make sure everything's green as we go through. See how the bleed works in here. Pressure. Electricity, how is it flowing from the engine generators into the AC bus and the DC bus. The hydraulics look good. Fuel we just took care of. APU is off. Now here's how the temperatures are in the plane. 71 in the forward and aft and in the cockpit. So I'm going to lower the one in the cockpit here in a minute. We'll get to that. Next up will be the doors, all slides armed. Wheels, covers over, brake temperatures look good. Here's how our control surfaces work, and oddly enough it tells you what hydraulic system powers what. So here you got the blue and the green. Here, green and the blue, or green and the blue, blue and the green. Same thing, isn't it? Green, blue, yellow for that, green, blue, yellow for the rudder. You see, when you lose a system, it kind of helps you with a little cheat sheet of what you have, what you don't. Next up is the status. Nothing there. And recall. Normal. And clear them up, and now we get the main view. Alright, so let's head up. And like I said, I'm going to cool the cockpit by 1 notch. And we'll see what that translates out to here in a minute. As we make the turn at, follow in there, Gitavo, however you want to say it, then get the Jew, go VGU is next, then Acua, not Acura, Acua. And there you go, folks, we're on our way through 27,000. Next stop 38,000, and that'll be roughly an hour and 50 minutes or so ahead of us. So for now, I'll just kind of sit on the side. Chat room has been open from the start of the stream. We do have a center ahead of us. I think that's Adriatic. And we'll get into them here shortly, and hopefully we'll not have to deal with anyone into LOWI. And if we do, we do. Alright folks, and as you can see, I'm flying the A319 with the IAE engines. Again, to me, an engine's an engine. I prefer CFM only because that's what I always see. A lot of you out there love this engine, the Pratt. But anyway, it's what we have on the wings today, and using across the sky. We will be talking to Adriatic here shortly. They're probably about 5, 10, 15 minutes ahead of us, and we'll take them hopefully up to close to top of descent, and then hopefully end without controllers to LOWI. And I know y'all are going, gotta have controllers. No, not always. Here I'd like to control a little bit of how I'm coming in, just because, well, it's going to be a little bit of nastiness and weather coupled with a little bit of unfamiliarity with the area, and I would prefer when I go into those to kind of have a little bit of the control. Alright, so LOWI is variable, so 2.6 is an option, broken at 11,000, that helps us. Few clouds at 8,000 and nothing significant reporting. Although when I look at the radar out in that area, I get a little nervous. So hopefully we can mainly to stay clear of the ice and any chance of us icing up again. We had a lot of trouble, folks, when I first got this plane. It was sometime in December or maybe November. But anyway, we got some phenomenal weather here in St. Louis for me to try out this icing effect that's in Innsbruck. Oh yeah, it's been strong, but I don't know Toliss's procedures or even the Airbus procedures for de-icing, non-icing. And I had everything on, and yet it still came down. So twice I did the flight. Once in a stream. You can go into YouTube and find that flight. And then I also did it once off stream, and both times iced up. So hopefully, we haven't had an update. I haven't installed one of late here on the A319, so I don't know if that's been addressed or what. The A320 supposedly has the same algorithms to deal with it, so but they say they've tuned theirs a little. So looks like we're leveling off at 38,000. And setting into our cruise. Let's get up here in the office and find out. Sure enough. Alright, so when we level off, we'll kick off the seatbelts and enjoy the ride. There are no announcements, folks. Kind of a bummer. Even the A320, if I hit the PA button in the cockpit, it comes on. Now, what I don't like about that is it's not to where if the door's closed you don't hear. I don't like that. At least Zebo, that happens. So hopefully ToLis will get something like that, or not. You know, it's eye candy, folks. Okay, in this case, ear candy. But it is a neat, because you know some people like, you know, looking out the window here. We're here. So, but anyway, back up in the office. You know, with all the little nuances they have put into it, I hope that eventually is on their list, if you will. I mean, no rush on it if you're listening to me, ToLis. Would just be a neat effect. One other neat effect that Flight Factor does is they do have the trucks, the LSUs, luggage, I don't know what S stands for, units show up. You know, they kind of, just a few feet they move on the screen, but you know, hey, it's a little bit of eye candy to some people. They really like it. And I know GSX and FM, the FS world has always been pretty good. So maybe there's an alternative to that in X-Plane that I can look for and eventually incorporate in. So I know one of the other streamers I follow a lot, V1, did a stream where they talked up the de-icing. They were in cold air, so we're going to de-ice it. He went through the whole procedure. Another real-world Airbus driver. So, we are at 38,000 folks on our way to Innsbruck. ETA is a nice 1 hour 37 minutes. So enjoy the music. Welcome into Tuesday, folks. Friday, or I'm sorry, correction, Hump Day Eve. And if you haven't done so already, folks, smash that follow button. YouTubers, smash that subscriber button. Love to have you along. And if you're on YouTube, hey, come on over to the Twitch channel when we're doing these live. Love to meet you, greet you, find out where you're from. And one of my biggest goals here, folks, is hopefully help to inspire you to step up and, hey, try your hand at flying on the flight sim, folks. It's, to me, therapeutic. It really helps me unwind from rough days at the airport like we just had yesterday with the snow and ice. Actually, ice, a little bit of hints of snow, but mostly ice and sleet. Helps to unwind. Unfortunately for me, I had been up well over 24 plus hours, and I just collapsed when I got home and slept. So, we'll unwind completely today, and who knows what tomorrow will bring, only the Lord. So, enjoy, folks, as we cruise along to LOWI, as some streamers and some people like to call it. Beautiful airport, beautiful scenery. I don't care what sim you're using, folks. Just say it, beautiful scenery. It's what was in the opening of this stream, folks. So enjoy the ride. Alright, folks, we got a few minutes before we drift into Adriatic Center's territory. And, well, you know, I thought I'd take a little bit of time with the verse of the day today. And I have been starting to wonder if I may or should not be doing these. Mainly because I seem to scare people away with them. But then again, that tells me maybe I should. People are listening, and maybe the truth is digging a little deeper than they thought it would. And things to work out in their own. So, and today's verse is one of those that kind of goes hand in hand with that. It's out of Joshua, which is right off the Pentateuch. Those familiar with the Bible, Pentateuch being the first 5 books of the Bible. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, one of the hardest books of the Bible to read. But yet when you read it, that book, folks, kind of scares you. If we'd follow God's way, obesity and other things would be a lot less. It's quite interesting to read. But it is tough because it is legal, therefores, thous, and this and that. And so it is. Then you have Numbers and Deuteronomy. So those 5 books make up what's called the Pentateuch. Joshua is who leads the Israelites from their 40 years in the desert, finally into the promised land of Israel. We can argue all you want whose it actually belongs to and all, but you know, I always side on God, just because God kind of made it all, folks. So I give God the credit as to who the promised land belongs to. So, but anyway, Joshua would be the one to take them across and into the promised land there, the plains of Jericho and the Jordan, across the Jordan. And through this entire journey, there have been a whole bunch of miracles, just unbelievable displays of God's power, from leaving Egypt through the 40 years and even into the promised land, and the Israelites taking over the promised land that God promised them. So the verse is out of chapter 4. God did this so that all the peoples of the earth might know that the hand of the Lord is powerful, and so that you might always fear the Lord your God. Like I said, they had seen the Israelites so many miracles before, from not only the 10 plagues in Egypt, culminating in the destroyer coming and killing the firstborn of all living things in Egypt that did not follow the instructions Moses gave to the Israelites about the blood over the doorposts and all that. It would skip those doors through and up to the Jordan River. I mean, we saw water, we saw manna, we saw the parting of the Red Sea, we saw God displaying, you don't follow me, the snakes, and taking many of the Israelites' lives who just flat out no longer believed. So there were a lot of miraculous things that happened in those ensuing 40 years leading up to the crossing of the Jordan. And flood season, God again parted the waters so the Israelites could cross into the plains of the Jordan, of the Jericho, ready and poised to take Jericho, which again would be an interesting, it's a great story to read, folks. Y'all can sit back, yeah, that wouldn't do it. Well, I hate to break it to you, folks. It stood the test of time over many, many millennia. So we're talking nearly 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 years that has stood the test of time. Somebody could have debunked it if it really didn't happen. They couldn't. So he's always making this important statement to his people that he expects reverence. That's it. Reverence. Just praise God for what he does in your lives, folks. So think about that, folks, as you go through your day. The different problems that just sometimes, how did that get taken care of? I want to look up. The heavens are always watching us, folks. I mean, here in our lives, we see it all the time here in my family. Sometimes we just sit there and go, oh my God. It's almost, you know, a problem goes, let's just stand back, let God do it. God's going to do something amazing. And lo and behold, he does. It's just mind-boggling, folks. And so sometimes when you do as God says, just give him the praise and respect and reverence that's due to the maker of everything you see around you. Good, bad, ugly, the whole thing, folks. And let God be in the driver's seat. Not in the driver's seat of your car, folks. It's always going to end up bad. So, but let him take over. And just get ready to go, wow. And just remember where that wow came from. Have a great day, folks. We're about to cross into Adriatic airspace and on into LOWI. So hope those words help. If not, you know, the Discord channel is available, folks. Right here's the invitation to, hey, let me know how you feel. And I respect the good, the bad, folks. So we will let the flight continue here with about an hour and 15 or so minutes to go, and begin our approach into LOWI. Always fun. folks. We are still in cruise, still with you. Chat room's wide open. Love for y'all to chat. Tell a friend, have them come aboard, folks. We'd love to have as many people as possible. Who knows? Like I said, our goal here is to get you out of the seat flying to sim, and while still watching Flying with Mike, of course. But you know, hey, we'd love for you to get up there and get out there and enjoy flying. As much as you enjoy watching it, we'd love to see you also up doing it. So we're flying the A319. I may start doing a little series on it to help with getting it started, little shorts, if you will. Might do that all on YouTube. Don't know yet, but kind of working some ideas out. So got any suggestions? Hey, head over to our Discord channel. You just got the invite in the chat room. If not, let me know. I can shoot you an invite and put your suggestions in on what you'd like to see here in Flying with Mike. But we'll just continue on, trying to determine, is it SimAware that has the actual border drawn for Adriatic airspace, or if it's SimToolkit, because they're a little different. But we're in the vicinity there, so we'll be getting toned here soon to give them a contact. So kind of enjoy the ride, folks. We still got a good hour to go, and then we start in. But for now, just relax, enjoy the music, folks. It's a Tuesday. For those of you here in Europe where we're flying, you can watch it on SimAware. Waking up, ATC is starting to pop up everywhere, and our prayer is we get in with none into LOWI, so I can, and I may come offline if ATC is doing what's different than the real world. So we'll see, though. I'm not gonna be disrespectful at all. If anything, just get in there and make sure we have a fun ride into LOWI. So enjoy, folks. The hour to go. We'll be briefing up the arrival here shortly and showing you the fun that, folks, if you're looking for challenges in an approach, great scenery, all of it, hey, head over to Innsbruck. You saw it in the beginning. It's a beauty. It doesn't matter which sim you're using, folks. Innsbruck is always a great place to fly into. So if you're looking for that, or if you're just looking for some fun scenery to fly in, folks, Austria, the Alps, you know, from say LOWI over to Zurich or Geneva, Munich, any of those, folks, down to even Milan, where you go over the mountains and into the valley. Hey, you know, you're talking about really good, let alone coming back and shooting some of those approaches they have there. They got a little bit of a challenge to them, and that's what's fun about LOWI. So, along with the being able to see outside. Now, right now, the weather appears to be coming down a little bit. I think at our first glance at it, we were 11,000 broken. Now we're 9,000 broken. So hopefully we hold it about there so we can get a good look in the valley. But we'll see. Saying no significant weather, so I've seen that, thunderstorms raging. So I don't know what that's supposed to really mean. So, because to me a thunderstorm is pretty significant. But, you know, that's just me. I get it. So, but anyway, folks, enjoy. We'll be talking with you here, in the next 5 or 10 minutes, get the approach briefed up. So enjoy the music. And if you need the volume brought up a little, let me know. We can do that. So we'll just kind of sit on the side here, chat with you. And, you know, why don't we do one thing here we haven't done in a while. Let me make sure I remember the format. And, Wow. 8-ball really didn't have much to say, did it? Okay, that was interesting. All right, well, we'll go with it. All right, well, let's try this one and see what happens. Well, I wonder why that is not working. Not sure why that's triggering to Streamlabs or Stream Elements, but Streamlabs never get it sometimes. All right. Alright, well, we're going to have to look at that one. There should be a way to put bullets in here, and I really don't see it. Doesn't mean anything, folks. I've been told it's right in front of my nose a million times. Didn't believe them, and sure enough it was. Try it that way, just out of curiosity. Okay. Alright, well, it's like, yeah, that's not gonna work. So, alright, well, we tried. So 130. What do they call themselves? Hang on a second. Adria radar, Turkish 572 with you, fly level 380.
Turkish 572, radar low intercept, squawk 1000.
Understand, squawk 1000, Turkish 572.
Turkish 572, island.
C2. What's going on? Never heard if he saw us.
Lufthansa 923, Phoenix offline, slow monitor, have a nice evening, bye-bye. Lufthansa 923, monitor you come, thanks for TC and see you next time, bye-bye. Istanbul 49er uniform, доброго вечера. This is Adria West, I'm not entering my space, uniform 2.8, have a nice evening, bye-bye. Don't worry. Cargo Luxon 6, open rate is Unicorn, have a nice evening, bye-bye. Unicorn, and bye-bye, Mel. Cargo Luxon 1, take it.
Alright, I guess that's all we're going to get out of them, folks. Never know. Okay, one thing we do look for, besides seeing our doors closed, slides armed, is this value right here, cockpit oxygen. It means exactly what it says. Cockpit only. It's the tanks in the cockpit that if we emergency decompress, got to put the mask on and make our emergency descent, that we have oxygen, and plenty of it. 1850 is good. Just doing a system check, folks.
Adria 865, for you also, Unicorn 122, that's great, bye-bye. Switching over to Echo, see you again, bye-bye. happen, correct, but I don't have your flight and I need you to find the flight. Oh, I'm so sorry. No worries. Lot 7 Lima Tango, no further ATC, please return from the line. Switching for Uni, thank you for your service. Bye-bye. Honda 397 again, requesting on his Austria, so this is all. Would have been some additions as well. Honda 397, the flight plan is received information. November correct, clear to Düsseldorf, SR, giving one Zulu, departure, smoke 1000, finish plan, flight level 120. Clear to Düsseldorf, riding giving 1 Zulu, departure, analyzation plan, flight level 120, smoke 1000, Honda 397. Honda 397, retake correct.
Alright folks, we're cruising along through Adria airspace. I call it Adriatic, but whatever. For about another 20-30 minutes or so, maybe as much as 45, and then, well, actually 45 I think will be there. Actually, a little quicker than that. Let me see here what we're seeing. Alright, and what I'm looking at here is Sim Toolkit, folks. Let me pull that up real quick. Alright, so you can kind of see Europe is coming alive. It should be. It's 6:30 at the earliest there, if you're in the UK, pushing towards the mainland. Later, obviously, throughout the rest with the time zones. And so it is coming alive. Hopefully, like I said, we can make these 30 minutes without ETC into LOWI. We do. We get it. And but you can see where my concerns, where you see all this light snow, folks. We're in the mountains, so it's always possible to gen it up. You guys going into Munich look like you'll have fun. Zurich, and even, I think that's, no, is that Vienna over here? Yeah, that is Vienna and the airport across the river, so yeah. So we are currently just about 3/4 of the way through Adria, and we'll start our top of descent somewhere right here. So let me try something here. Let me see if it saved it. It did not, so let's unload. Do that. Oh, nice, it did. Alright, so we can just go from here and do our briefing, folks. Let me hide this part of it. Alright, so again, here's where we're located. We'll kind of zoom it in here. And let's bring up the Nanny or Nanit 2 Alpha arrival. See it right there. Okay, D8is. Folks, those of you out there listening to me, if you know how to get a hold of the ATIS like we do in the United States, I'd love to know what website to go to. Can't find it. I really haven't searched for it, but I'm just curious. It's an RNAV 5 approach, as you see over here, and transition level, of course, set by ATC. How could we ever be so nice to pilots to tell them that here in this chart? RNAV 5, GNS approach required. Non-RNAV expect radar vectors onto the final approach course. Okay. Airport's at 1,907 feet. All right, looking at it, it's real simple, folks. The Nanty, we go Nanty, Nanit to RTT. Man it above 15,000, above 9,500 at Rattenberg, RTT, and then we start our arrival. Obviously, you can tell why. We only have 6, you know, I'm going to try to cross man it at 15, 9,500 at Rattenberg. I find if I get on those altitudes, I do a lot better getting established, stabilized on the final approach. Okay, from there, we transition. We're going to be shooting the localizer 426. Again, just a good fly an RNAV approach, which basically follows the missed approach here. I'd rather just play it safe. Again, I always have troubles in the LOWI, so. Alright, so off RTT. Actually, let's start at the beginning. Frequencies across the top. Localizer 111.1, 254 degrees on the approach. Alright, our minimum descent is 9,500 feet.
Alright, thank you very much.
At distance 19 OEV. So that'll be right here, folks. Minimums, we'll check down below, and there's our elevations. Missed approach, I'll let you read. It's kind of interesting. We go off, out, do the button hook, come back, following it through, all the way out to Rittenberg, go into a hold. Pretty fun to do, looks like. Don't really want to. Okay, again, Rittenberg, Adwig, and then we start in on the localizer. Due to the mountains coverage of the localizer, OEV and DME is restricted to 27 miles, will be at 21 miles. So, happies do not coincide with visual approach. You can tell why. And then as you look down below here, the profile you see here are depicted to scale. So you see, you may be getting GPWS callouts. So at 9,500 feet at Rittenberg, we'll travel out to Adwig at that height, then we'll start in. Hopefully we do this. Got to be a 3.77 descending. So a lot steeper than you're used to, folks. So speed is critical here to use that to your advantage. Hopefully I remember that. So. And if you don't, it tells you where you should be bending on your DME from OEV right here. Alright, so 9,100 at 18 miles, so forth, right on down the descent. Okay, minimums. 2,250 feet, or 356 is the minimum here. 2,250 feet on your altimeter, 356 above the ground. And then it gives you some breakdowns. We're class performance C, so we get 1,200 meters. Should we lose the approach lighting system, you see how it changes. And so forth through the different types of approach. Actually, we're looking at a 5% descent gradient, so it's pretty steep. Alright, so there you go, folks. There's the numbers, and then once we get on the ground here, hang on, I'm going to get one other chart. Thought it came up with it, and I misread that. Doesn't have such a devil. Marking chart. Okay. No biggie.
Adrian 317 request.
And what I'm going to do is overlay our arrival so we can track it on the charts. Alright. Okay, folks, now is a good time if you want to put a prediction in, because it's going to get popping here real quick. Just like that. exclamation mark predict, space, negative number. Okay. Folks, I am going to take a very quick break, use the lav, and then we'll be ready for landing. All right, let's get rid of some toolkit here first. All right.
Radar, dobro večer, Trader 132 level 30, 5 miles inbound IOSA. Radar 132, radar, dobro večer, set for 1000, 132.
I think I'm too close. Well, welcome to flying sometimes, folks. It gets a little uncomfortable up here. All right, so Munich has come up. Switzerland has come up. See how it just starts exploding as we get closer. So here we go, folks.
Good evening, Turkish 99 Victus, with you flight level 340 and CBS notified.
108 miles out, let's start getting our numbers.
Outside my space, but CPDLT accepted, I will call you back. Thank you very much, 99 Victor. Identified, možete pravo na Nitru za LS30. Direct pravo LS30, hvala, 132.
Temperature there is 2.
Austria radar, Lufthansa 069, passing flight level 147, climbing flight level 380.
It's variable, folks. I can't get a solid number on it.
Continue flight level 380, Lufthansa 069. Lufthansa 397, push start approved, runway 30, QNH 1019.
Okay, and DH. We're going to use MDA 2250. We're set for this. 91 miles.
Roger, 484 to identify.
Agam. Lemus is our, will be exiting and very close to our top of descent. We have, what is it? Usually, yeah, very close to our top of descent. So, and we're gonna again put in 50. Matter of fact, let's check that right now.
Go ahead, Schneider Mike Victor. Schneider Mike Victor, you have your control in Istanbul now, so contact them on 135 and 13. 135.3 for your control is Turkish, Schneider Mike Victor. Bye bye. Talk to you later, bye bye.
Okay.
Radio LOWI for 1 time ago, flight level 350.
GM 4 Bravo Tango Area Radar LOWI Chesed Book 5236.
5236 to GM 4.
Okay, and when we start down, folks, we're going to probably, let's see here. I know there's a way to set FPA. I'm going to have to get in and dig in on that, because that's what we're going to need for our descent. Like I said, pretty steep. Be at VAP probably for at least 19 miles just to play it safe. So that is gonna actually mean it's gonna take about 870 ish. 860, 870 feet per minute, 860 feet a minute. So, going to be coming down pretty hard, so. I might even, yeah, we'll kind of watch this as it comes down, folks, because it's a steep approach, and we'll see what we can do. Unicom for Turkish 572. Thanks for the ATC. Bye now. Alright, we're on our own, folks, and we are very close to top of descent. Yeah, he's given us a good 10 miles to the edge, so that's technically we're still in Euro East FSS, which if they want us, they can call us. But, alright, folks, again, welcome to Flying with Mike. Hope you all enjoy the ride. I will put it out, exclamation mark predict, put a space in there, and your negative number for what you think we'll do for the landing gear. One thing I did not brief about, okay, we're landing on a 6,500 foot runway. So we're going to do our best. We'll be back taxiing unless our auto brake 3 gets us stopped before Alpha. But, yeah, it's, yeah, add to a pretty steep approach, we have that on top of it. And I'm here to tell you folks, if you haven't been noticing, there are a lot of centers up right now. Thankfully, not Vienna. Not to say they won't pop up on us, but hopefully we'll get into the approach and they might leave us alone to get in there. I don't know. We'll see. That's my hope, my prayer. I know it's silly, but it just makes this approach for me a lot easier. I don't have that nice warm body next to me switching frequencies and doing the talking on top of bringing this bird in. All right, we're about 20 miles now from top of descent. Okay, landing elevation is auto, and I'd really like to learn how to find that. McDo arrival put in, McDo performance approach complete. I don't know how to get the wind request again for this, and let me kill the music. 20 miles before TD, set the altitude, which we are now, 15,000. Okay, and 38 to 15 times 3. Crossing Columbus now. All right, descent has begun. Check the rad nav. I knew it, they would come up on us.
1000 feet climbing to flight level 380. To the 8055, be radar contact passing level 110. Continue climb level 160. Continue climb flight level 160 to the 8055.
Vienna radar, Turkish 572 descending for 15,000 for Innsbruck.
Permit 8055, squawk 4071 and turn left, direct Google. Direct Google, please say again my squawk number. Permit 8055, set squawk 4071. 4071 on the box, permit 8055. Turkish 572, identified passing level 355, continue descent, level 170.
Copy, continue descent. Did you say 100 for the level off?
Turkish 572, descent level 170 and set squawk 1000.
Set squawk back to 1,000 down to 17,000. Turkish 572.
Lufthansa 4077, expect further climb after VBAC. I'm not expecting further climb after VBAC. Yeah, coming around F60, uniform icon, inbound RMX 360. Ryanair 60, uniform echo, Wien radar contact, set squawk 4023. 4023, 60, uniform echo. Donate 8055, contact München 13415. 13415, donate 8055, thanks, bye bye. Ryanair 60, uniform echo 360, identified, continue.
Alright, folks. Going to be a little quiet now as we try to anticipate this approach.
Alpha 2207, Wien radar contact passing 7500, climb level 160. 160, Alpha 2207, squawk 4073. 4073 for E,
That is not...
Turkish 572, any preferred approach?
we're hoping for the localizer to runway 26 at LOWI.
Turkish 572, Wien radar.
Hoping for the approach for Turkish 572 localizer 26.
Turkish 572, expect localizer Romeo runway 26 approach, proceed direct Atwick Alpha Delta Whiskey India Golf.
Roger, direct the initial fix for 26 572.
Turkish 572, direct Atwick Alpha Delta Whiskey India Golf.
I know what it is. I just had to copy Alpha Delta Whiskey India Golf.
Turkish 572, direct Atwick Alpha Delta Whiskey India Golf.
Sorry, folks. Sorry about that. I keep forgetting I got to click on monitors. Alpha Delta Whiskey India Golf for Turkish 572.
Lufthansa 4707, climb level 350,
Okay.
proceed direct Letfa.
I hate that on this thing, folks. That's why sometimes you don't see me on your Alpha Delta
Lufthansa
insert.
4077, climb now level 350, direct Letfa.
I'd like to go now to 9,500 feet.
2207, stroke 4073.
Thank you.
Stroke 4073,
Hate multi-monitors for that, folks. You all know how to fix it? Please join our Discord channel. Help me.
2207, when passing level 110, direct access. Passing level 110, direct access, house temperature. Turkish 57 to descend level 157.
Center, could you repeat the altitude level for Turkish 572?
Turkish 57 to descend level 150.
150 for Turkish 572. Oh, it's looking awful cloudy up ahead, folks. I am gonna keep us, okay, we're a little off.
2207, contact München 13415. Okay, 415, thanks for position.
So it looks like out the window. Oh, look at that, folks. Wow. Cloudy over here, but wow, the other side looks awesome. This would be a fun flight in the real world to come into LOWI. Gonna have to put it on my bucket list of flights to do. My luck will never do, but this is a beautiful approach. Wow. It's the transition. Thinking 11,000, folks. I think I can put that in my reference. All right, we're direct now to our initial. That, folks. Oh, what an office view.
Contact 307, be ready contact passing level 180. Continue climb flight level 380. Turkish 572, due to airspace, turn right heading 300.
Right turn 300. Right turn 300 for Turkish 572.
Vienna radar, Austrian 336 in Innsbruck, request FR clearance to Vienna. 336, 337 cleared Vienna, Ataturk to Quebec, departure of 08, initially level 120, squawk 1000, unit Innsbruck 1024. Please repeat slowly for Austrian 336. Austrian 336, cleared to destination Vienna, Rattenberg to Quebec, departure runway 08, initial climb level 120, squawk 1000, QNH 1024. Cleared via Ratten to Quebec, departure via runway 08, climb 12000, squawk 1000, QNH 1024, Austrian 336. 336, it's back, correct. Turkish 572, descend altitude 10,000, QNH 1024. Turkish 572, descend altitude 10,000, QNH 1024.
Down to 1,000 or 10,000, sorry, for Turkish 572. Copy the QNH. In Vienna, are we cleared back for the localizer? Or, great. All right, well, it's me. So folks, we're gonna loop back to the right. Completely love when this happens. We completely disconnected. Gotta love it. And we disconnected from OBS as well. Alright, so folks, to see this in its entirety, you'll have to see it at YouTube. Alright folks, well, I just got news from the CEO. The internet may have dropped here, causing all of our fun. So my apologies to y'all again. Looks like you'll have to catch the entire thing start to finish via YouTube, but it will be, we'll stay offline now. I'm not coming back on just like this, Adam, so. All right, now I gotta find RTT again. There it is. And what we're gonna do is try and roll in onto the approach and shoot it that way, but we'll stay right now at 10,000. That is such a bummer. I was like, why are we getting further and further from it? Then I saw the timeout and went, oh, this is great. All right, well, that also now allows us to prepare a little bit. Hang on. All right, so, oh, and I just noticed I had, well, that's kind of useless now to put up there too. I hadn't had my overlay up for here. All right. Go ahead and slow up to 220 right now. And come on down to 9,500. Okay, we're at 9,500, direct Adwig, and the localizer.
$2,500.
2,500. 2,000. 2,000.
All right, folks, we're back with you. A couple of alarms that you heard. Overspeeding the flaps because we're trying to get her slowed down one more time. Oh, we stayed under. All right. Brakes are set to 3. Flaps are full and spoilers armed. Here we go, folks. I think I've got the runway. We're on a displace, it looks like. So, with that in mind, here we go. Believe it or not, we picked up a glide slope here. I don't get that one. Okay, we're getting a little below it. Okay, flaps full, spoilers armed, ignition. Beautiful day. Look at this out here, folks. Real quick. Beautiful scenery. Get a better look as we come in. Flatten out a little bit. Also will help us in slowing the plane up.
$2,000.
Go ahead and start angling for arrival. There you go, folks. Look at the beauty. I mean, like I said, this is on my bucket list of airports to visit. Auto throttle is still engaged. All right, we're getting close to back on glide. Visual cues seen. Down we go. I do like flying it this way better. Oh, we're getting high on the approach. All right, we're going to go ahead and call it stable landing. folks. Enjoy the arrival into exclamation mark. Predict space negative number will allow you to put a prediction in on what you think the actual landing rate will be. Okay, I'm going by visual cue only, not what the glide slope says.
500.
400.
400.
300.
300.
Still stable.
200.
200.
100 above. 100.
100.
50.
50.
40. Minimum.
30.
20. Retard.
20.
Retard. 10. Drive.
10.
Oh, we're gonna make Alpha. How about that, folks? I actually didn't feel like that all of a bad landing. Alright, and if we were on VATSIM, I'd say clearing at Alpha. But it looks like our internet had a hiccup, so hence why there'll be 2 video VODs on Twitch, but there'll be 1 for YouTube. And that'll be up in a couple of days, folks. Alright, after landing checks, completing landing roll, landing lights, ground spoilers, down, flaps, up. Yeah, would have been nice to have the landing lights on. Gig 1. Lights off. Radar off. And APU. Interesting at this airport, folks. Being what it's known for. France 008, welcome aboard. Bad Attitude, welcome in. Wishing you all the luck there in school. Hope it's going well. And, yeah, we had an internet hiccup again. So, there'll be 2 VODs out there for this. Oh, this spot looks good. Oh, so there is a I've got to find out why I'm not getting releases. Took them a while for me to get where we're at now. All right, and they may have done it while I was flying, so we'll check after the flight. All right, now the reason I switched to nav is so I could get a better fix of where we were. As you can see, you get a circular view instead of an arc. So, all right, so let's shut this thing down, shall we? All right, brake temps, how we doing? Flaps open. Okay, we have to wait for it to spool up, but we'll let the people up and going. They won't be able to bring the ladder out till the engine's off anyway, so. And put that to stop. 2 hours, 28 minutes after pushback, we have arrived in Innsbruck. Up, so if it was 2 hours ago, maybe the release came out in flight. We've been going for about 3 hours now, so we'll check it after the flight. Thanks for that information, though. And Franz 008, thanks a lot for being a part here. We're going to re-look at that landing here in a minute. As soon as we get up, we got the word avail. Anti-ice is off. Bleed air's on. And we can shut the engines down. All right, anti-ice, turn off swings, nose wheel, beacons off, seat belts off, lapse time stop, fuel pumps. They're gonna stay on for now. And that, folks, brings us into the Alps. What a beautiful scene, folks. Look at that. I mean, jeez. What a beautiful area to be. Love it, love it, love it. All right. This is default, by the way. Hang on. Let me pull the chat room up here. I do have the Flight Factor A320. More learning about flying than you ever thought you would, yeah? Well, I was starting into that track many years ago with my instrument flight training, and holy mackerel, yeah, you learn a lot. And I can't imagine from your side of the desk, the controller side. So, yeah. Yes, Matt Air, this is the A319. I do have the 320. It's a good airplane. It's not up to par with this one from Toliss, but it is good. Actually, it's pretty good. We're going to be flying it here hopefully this week down in Africa. I do fly the 737 and had intentions of flying it today, but because of circumstances yesterday of lack of sleep, okay, let's not even use the word lack, no sleep in well over 24 plus hours. I opted out and just pushed it up one day. Did I get the new cabin update? Now that, Matt, I'm not aware of. I will either point me in the direction for that, or I'll check the Flight Factor Discord channel. I'm not sure what that is, so. But yeah, I do have a cabin. It looks really good in it. It's just the FMC still has a lot of functions to be added to it. but I'll dig it up real quick which version I'm running here in just a second. Getting caught up here, folks. Sorry. Last one I have is 1.5.6 for the A320. And then the version I'm flying for the A319 is in the title, I believe. You know, you love it. No, it is. Where did I put it? Oh, I put it in Discord. That's where I put it. For the A319, I'm 1.7.1. So, but anyway, folks, here's LOWI. Let's get this wrapped up. I actually have not looked at what my landing rate was. I am extremely interested, too, in that. Yeah, I do have the ability to go sharklets there, Matt. But I don't know about the cabin change. 1.7 or 174 feet. Oh, not bad. For Mac Air's flight never landed. What? Okay, looks like we may have to do something here. Hang on. When that happens, that means... see if that does it for Mac Air. Working brakes engaged. All right, well, guess I'm not going to get credit at Mac Air for this because I can't get it to stop. But yet it showed a landing rate. Well, that's just going to be a bummer. Oh, well. All right. Well, let's look at it over here. 295 is what we're showing with Sim Toolkit. All right, let me... All right, get this up here. Well, let me know what you need tested there, Bad Attitude, and I'll do my best. Sim Toolkit. All right, what we're going to do, folks, hopefully we'll be out of the commercial here in a minute. We'll take a look at this. LTBA to LOWI. We'll view the details. Okay. And then we'll do the full landing report. I knew I kind of ate some runway, but I thought I ate more than just that. Oh, maybe that is what I thought I saw. Okay. All right, so here's the numerical value. And we're going to hold and cross fingers and hope we'll be able to replay it. So there's our threshold. Every 500 feet down the runway are these marks. Now, it's only 6,500 feet, folks, so you're not going to get many more, because then you're in the approach end for the other side. But right now, 10 feet off, or 11 feet off the center line is not bad. 1,600 feet down to 6,000 foot runway, not bad. Landing speed just about right at 128. Pitch 6, you know, so you get the numerics. And 295, they're calling it. When, hang on a second, real performance data for the 7. Huh. Yeah, that should be interesting to see. I know when I put in numbers from with Zevo, with the stuff from Professional Flight Planner and TopCat, they're always off. And Zevo's supposed to eventually have takeoff performance data for us. They're one page away from it, so hopefully that comes soon. So again, landing 295 feet. All right, let's cross our fingers, folks, see if we'll be able to replay this. I always have troubles. Okay, on to closing. Go ahead. Okay, hang on, I may have to switch. I can't, and I'm not going to zoom in when I could just do this. Or one, close, close, close. Okay, no chocks, nothing in, just the APU running. Let's see if ToLis is going to let us look at the landing. They are. Start way out here. Actually, we'll go even right about here. Alrighty, folks, here we come in. Let's see how it looks. I have to say, folks, great scenery here. May not be exact, folks, good enough for me. There we go. Had I just let it go, folks, you'd have hit that aiming point right on track.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up. 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 Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Oh, that
Terrain,
really
terrain.
looks good, folks.
Pull up. Terrain, terrain. 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 Pull up. Terrain, terrain.
Wow.
Pull up. Terrain, terrain.
Okay, I don't
Pull up.
know where that one put it. That's what I get for
Terrain,
hitting the
terrain.
wrong button.
Pull up. Terrain, terrain. 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 Pull up. Terrain, terrain.
So
Pull
that must be what Mac Air is recording. See how it's showing not on the ground? Wow. Yeah, it's not on the ground. But this is typical in Rewind. Kind of funny, actually. All right, folks, we're gonna wrap it up there. Let me get in stand. And folks, let's call it a day. Let me go back and make sure I didn't miss any big statements. But yeah, what's on the center console? Okay, hang on, let's see. Not sure, but I'll let you see it. So hopefully you're seeing what you need to there, Bad Attitude. And I am going to begin to fade us out here as I continue to look back here, trying to... Okay, now, performance data-wise, I can tell you this. I would take it from Zebo, not necessarily the real stuff out of 7, unless you're updating data refs into Zebo, because there's a good chance they may not match up. As I was saying before we started the rewind here, I'll put information and get V numbers. They all work fine in Zebo, but the distance that TopCat gives, which does in past flight sims come pretty doggone close to when I'll leave the ground, are off. I'm not going to say drastically, but they're not close. So, but hey, I enjoy Zebo. Like I said, today was going to be a Zebo flight down to the Haiti, or not Haiti, but Dominican Republic. Just opted to fly this. So, folks, we are going to leave you here. We're here in a good place of LOWI. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I work. Thursday, it's a toss-up. Look in the Discord channel, folks. I'm going to put a poll up there. It's a quick notice poll. as to where you'd like to see us flying. There's the invite. It'll be either to San Diego for FedEx or Domingo down in the Dominican Republic with American Airlines. And I'll tell you right now, for that one, it will be Zibo. For FedEx, I may opt a secondary poll what plane you'd like to see. But for now, folks, we're going to head out. It has been a blast flying over here. Vienna Control, if you do catch our stream, my apologies. Our internet dropped and I wasn't about to come back online, trying to regroup on that. So my apologies to you. Great job to the controllers. Great job for those of you that followed along and with us. If you haven't hit follow, please smash follow. Subscribe if you happen to see this on YouTube. Folks, God bless you all. Have a great day, and we'll see you again. And as our verse says of the day, so that all peoples of the earth may know that the hand of the Lord is mighty, that you may fear the Lord, your God, forever. Good words to live by, folks. Fearing God is always a good thing. And fear doesn't necessarily mean terror. It means respect. Respect what the Lord has done for you. God bless you all. Have a great day. We'll see you Thursday, God willing.